Oh.
And with that, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to D&D 5th edition Usapait. My name is Jacob, or JC, and we are on our 21st session of this little game.
God.
It's just been a couple months. That's it. Don't worry, don't think too hard about it. It's only four games a month, so that's almost half a year now. Including my little break, I think that makes it half a year as of this point. So, on that, thank you all for sticking around in my little game for half a year. Thank you all for watching the game for half a year. And, of course, if you're watching the stream live on Twitch, thank you so much. And if you're watching the restream on YouTube, thank you as well. Whether you're watching on either platform, please make sure to follow or subscribe respectively. It's free. We'd be rolling dice regardless. We love what we do here. But as always, it means a lot that you enjoy it as well. Now, let's get into it. Where we last left off, the group was split into two major go-getters last session. Glaerun and Valden went to petition the Grand Library of Usapait to try and find possible schematics of the city, maybe other secrets that they could access within the Grand Library of Usapait, using Glaerun's status as a noble to possibly weasel their way in. At the same time, Ophelia and Elven journeyed further into the Mistress's domain, attempting to schedule a meeting with her, and apparently successfully doing so. When they arrived, they were escorted into a mansion in front of a woman who was very professional, very businesslike, and wanted to see how far they would commit themselves. Ophelia made it very clear that it was to be no more than business transactions, and only requested that for a little bit of extra information that only she could provide, the group gets safe haven among the Mistress's district from Adler's bounty hunters, and that if a job comes up, the opportunity for them to jump on it. During the decision-making process, Ophelia also made the recollection, but the realization that the human sitting in front of the two of them was in fact not the mistress, but a proxy, and they have yet to meet the actual boss. The terms were deemed acceptable. The information of the downfall of Neat Dory and the likelihood that everyone that Adler has sent there so far through the secret passway that the group has cleared has either been captured or killed. A alliance of sorts has been brokered between the six of you and the Mistress via Ophelia's words. The other group had slight success, as well as you can be, pushing a family crest ring as burden of proof. It got scanned, and through waiting some amount of time, the two of you were escorted to a guided walk-in of the Grand Library. Eventually being shown to a teleportation circle and shunted within the library itself, the two of you now walked out the expanse of seemingly endless information stretched out amongst the library. Now it's up to the two of you to see what you can glean here without causing any issues. And that's where we've left off. Now, we're going to start within the library itself. The two of you have been led in by a elven man, these kind of deep blue robes, as he just kind of walks through where this teleportation reception is, and seemingly gives no notice to the two of you looking out at the vast expanses of books. What's the first move that Glaerun and Valden make, as the man just simply seems to stop about 10-15 paces away from the two of you, doesn't turn back around to address you, just simply pauses?
I'm
guess
Glaerun's manservant, so I just have to wait for him.
walking towards the bookshelves. We'll see what he does.
Easy enough. As you kind of step out over to one of the vast bookshelves, there are so many that expand throughout this location that it really isn't hard to just pick one and walk up to it. And as you kind of almost look over the vast array of parchment, kind of quizzically, not even putting on a show, just the genuine curious nature that the library seems to draw out of you gets shattered for a second as you can hear the elven man's voice behind you of, "Do you know where you are looking?"
No, not exactly.
Well, allow me to be of assistance. What are your inquiries, my lord?
Looking for books on the history and architecture of the city. As close to the founding as you can get. I'm so interested.
Time of the architectural make of Eleanor Oren, then.
Yes.
Of course. Follow me. And he simply glides over to a, not a shelf, but a section where he begins to kind of step in between the long rows of books. And as he begins to kind of disappear around this corner made of tomes, he does pause to wait for the two of you to start to follow.
Yeah, let's follow him.
All right. As you guys step further in, you can see the onset of tables and scroll racks and stairs that go up to other levels, and you can see different people of actually varying types. You can see an individual, like a very large, wide form, deep crimson red scales going over his form, a dragonborn of make. You can see a kind of large sword that's pulled into a scabbard at his right side as he himself is getting led through by an elven, most likely guide, as the same as you all are. off to another section, you can see a kind of gradient of dark green to light green half orc. This dash of black hair up top, and this beginning to fully kind of come in on his face beard that's forming. You can see armor and slick features, just a myriad of people that are looking over maps and tomes for different reasons. Most of these people that you're watching, about 9 out of every 10, and you only see about 20 total groups of people, are being guided by someone that would have some relation to the temple, or not the temple, the library. But as you guys go through, you watch as this elven individual kind of moves over a large mobile ladder and climbs up and pulls a kind of simple yet hardbound tome out and steps down, walks over, places it on a table. This will take a few minutes. I need to grab some different variations depending on the time that you want to look at the city's schematics. It would be from different periods, but records are in this section.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Over the next 5-6 minutes, you see him pull about 4 or 5 different tomes down, and as he kind of gingerly undoes the twine latch that would be over them, you can see that these actually are the type of books that, although they fold neatly and compressed like a book, once you unfold them, the papers then also unfold past the bindings itself into large maps that cover a quite larger section. And it's interesting, on first glance of the tomes, you can see it details 4 separate... It almost looks like 4 separate cities. And then as you kind of look closer and closer, and the 5th book is used as almost like a legend to give descriptors, give analysis of what things are marked as what, you can see the similarities, or some pieces that were always there and some pieces that are quite new. A good example is the acknowledgement on the first section that Alinar Oren was actually built first as just Alinar, and Alinar was a town that was set on the north, what would become the northern section above the city, above where the northern region mark is. And Oren was another city that was in what would become the central region mark, 2 smaller places. And then as the time actually moves through, you see that Alinar itself actually almost picked up and was transported into molding into Alinar Oren, as it not necessarily assimilated, but got squished together into one larger city rather than 2 smaller ones. And as such, that's where the length away from the Grand Library came from, even though Alinar was built as a subsidy for people working or going to the library to live in. As things go further, you can almost pick out in the different regions of time when the People's Bank got created. although those schematics for safety concerns are the newest versions aren't available. You can see old versions of when it was originally just 3 floors, and then when it grows up to 5, and now it looks from a person's view that this being one of the larger city, or the second largest thing, discounting the library itself, you'd guess it to be between 8 and 9 stories tall now. These massive 2 structures that kind of contrast the gilded simplicity that the rest of Alinar Orin tries to maintain. And you see as well in the 4 maps that the cities eventually like widen out and cover things. But that's enough talking from me. What specifics are Glaerun and Valden looking for?
Was there ever a period where pieces or parts of Alinar Orin were destroyed and then had to be rebuilt?
I would like, and if Valden is interested in helping, they can. This would be I will give you, I would either say an investigation check or a history check. One of those 2 rolls as you guys pore over these papers for differences and records.
I've got a +3
In
investigation.
I have a +2 in history. Can we each roll separately, or does it have to be one roll?
You can roll separately.
All right. I'm cool with that.
Cool. Perfect.
Uh, 22.
22. 18. And then
Very stupid.
respectively, which one of you were investigation, which one of you are history, or were both of you 1?
I was history.
investigation. Yeah, we did it separately.
History and investigation. Okay. So, Glaerun, we'll start with the history. As you look at it, the main obvious thing was how there was 2 separate sketches, actually, that get pulled together. And as such, technically speaking, Alinar as a whole was demolished, and then the people were relocated closer to Orin. However, there are sections along the southern end that looks like they had been basically pushed at. The best way to describe is during the Marshy Rebellion, a old guerrilla war between the northern and central region. Sections of the wall had been attacked and destroyed, but the city itself had never truly had any leveling put through it. For the investigation, as Glaerun's talking about things that have been destroyed and rebuilt, you're focusing in on something else. Not stuff that has been rebuilt, but built over. As a section of the city, during the older days when it was just simply the city of Orin, shows a waterway, a river, that actually flows from a basically an odd bit, almost paradoxically, coming from the southeast and flowing into the city of Orin, as though there was a mountain like guiding it that way, although the city doesn't show any of that topographically. It, in those older days, was the source of water for the city itself. And although as you grow, as it goes on, you see that the river itself was turned into a reservoir through obvious methods to contain more water and make it more plentiful. And so the townsfolk can actively use it when they need to. In the last two sections of it, you watched as the river gets quote-unquote phased out. As the sewer gets implemented in the third version, and the river was to feed that, and then the river disappears from those charts, and the water theoretically gets recycled throughout. However, you do know that there, on the schematic, there still shows that there is, although the river itself seems to have been covered over on the outside of the city, where the recycled water shows up is still almost one-to-one where that reservoir was. And as such, as it seems to have been built over, there might still be waterways, water pathways that would lead to the southern side and eventually out of the city. And that's the interesting bit you get.
Okay. I have a feeling my good friend Elven might know about a certain waterway. But we'll see. I'm just at this point. I'm just gonna wait for Glaerun.
How long are we looking at these books for?
It would be a couple hours. Like, this is a lot of stuff to go over, and it's sifting through because you guys just asked for schematics, and so it would be going over at least the first one, the oldest period of the founding, is the only one with two separate cities in it. And then it merges into one, but it would still be going over the walls, the main streetways, what type of buildings are there, schematics that you could go into for a lot of buildings, and then, of course, the sewer system that got integrated during the third iteration of Alinar Orin.
And I just find, unless this is already evident in what I was looking at,
Please.
Can I just get like a map or something and just kind of like layer them that with the river, just so I can like know generally like where it's at and like kind of where it spans to and from within the city?
Yeah. So what it would be doing is it would be showing itself at the closer to the northern. Let me actually make sure I've got this all said and done.
You're good.
It would be actually kind of along the where the river originally came from, pulling from the or southeastern edge of the city, and as it pulls in, the reservoir would originally go into the center of the city. And you note from where you guys went into the sewer, you would have had to go on, I don't want to say on that battle map, just up, because that sounds stupid, but basically past some of the northern structures and barriers, as you guys were within that that kind of southwestern end of the city sewers. and you haven't looked at that necessary piece. And although you do remember being in the sewers and hearing the rush of water, it's a city. A lot of water would need to go underneath you. And yeah, you'd be able to layer them, though, and get an approximate idea of where it should be.
Okay. And it doesn't flow out of the city, right? At least not on this map. There's a part that flows from outside in, but there's no part that goes beyond, just like, I guess, through.
No, it does not go all the way through the city, even in the original. It looks like it had been originally diverted through to the Oran section to just provide water. You build a city next to water. It's a common practice. And then as it went on, the reservoir got built. It got pulled into the center of the city as it got combined. And then in the last couple of iterations, it got replaced with the recycled industry, but you can still basically see sections, remnants that could be indicative of a river still being there.
Nothing so far though that leads north, only through the south.
That would be going to the south, yes.
I mean, if there are more books or things to look at, like,
yeah, I mean,
we just kind of
let me know what
going.
you ask for.
Yeah.
The sewer systems that are here, are they all for the southern region?
You'd be able to look into the sewer system as a whole, and it is this interconnecting network of pipes, platforms, all of this, in a similar style to how the section that you all went through. But you all went through basically, I would say, 1/5 the size of the sewer. Basically, imagine that you would assume a similar type of layout for the northwest, northeast, and southeastern ends. And it's because it is looking at the southeastern end, looking through these, because they're not one-to-one, like copy paste, just flipped of the stuff that you all walked through during your sewer outing. You can see that there are there is a large section in that region that is just simply reinforced stone pathways, and that would be what would be tipping Valden off to there still evidence of a large waterway still being there, even though on the surface Alinar Oran's like putting its water back through a system.
Can I just walk over to the shelves where he was pulling stuff off and grab a random book?
Are you just gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm just going to do it.
Okay. As you kind of move to begin and kind of step up towards the section, as your hand reaches up, you just hear, is there anything I can assist you with?
I'm just going.
Okay. I would ask, as you kind of pluck a book off and you can hear the man kind of walking towards you, you're looking at a tome not necessarily labeled with something that you can understand. You see almost like a numbering system, a collection of Elven letters and numbers kind of scrawled along the spine of the book as the Elven guide kind of comes up to you. He's like, I'd be more than willing to pull anything you need off of the shelves, but you do need to talk to me about what you need, my lord.
I appreciate that. I was just looking for a little bit of unscripted information, I guess. I'm gonna bring the book back and open it to look and see what it is.
Sure.
Okay.
Roll me a d20.
17? 17.
17? All right. As you kind of pull open this book, it is a collection of basically reports on different water levels, water quality, all throughout the kind of the water that's passed through the system of Alinar Orin. And you can see in a column that you're looking over of supplemented, of that's the only indicator of what it is, but it seems that everything of water, raw, repurposed water, lost material, and then supplemented. Each of those are differing numbers, and they all add up to a consistent total for each time period tracked. I must insist, if you require something, I'm more than happy to provide knowledge or assistance for whatever you need. Just please let us know.
Thank you.
And with that book seeming to be a lost cause of it already being on the table, he just kind of almost sighs in relief of you acknowledging it and kind of steps a couple paces back, but he is closer to the table now.
Can I get... I don't even know if I'm allowed to ask this guy for books. I'm going to be so honest.
Go for it.
But if I am, I would love to... like, have there ever been any sieges and or wars waged on the city?
Alinar Orin has been free of wars during the larger history of the continent. Sieges could be... A case could be made for terrorist attacks on it during the rebellion itself. But this was not ever a operating base or an outpost. Nothing of that larger historic relevance. The claim to fame of the city of Alinar Orin is the housing of knowledge. As such, the city is normally given a exemption from problems due to not wishing to destroy such a vast wealth, creating a burden of ignorance upon the world.
It seems to me as if there have been at least very few, admittedly, but a couple instances of potential war and or siege.
I mean, although the city itself hasn't been around since recorded time, there's still tens of thousands of years that this land has been populated and tread on. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something aching in the scars of the world for every pocket of land. Are you saying that there's something indicative of scars on the city of Alinar Orn itself?
No, not in the slightest. Just curious. Just a man who wants to know a little more about where he is. You
How
have
about
quite the
some
fine city.
With that on the mind, how about some more tomes about the Marshy Rebellion, if you have them?
Of course. Are you finished with these tomes?
Glaerun will look at Valdon. Are you satisfied with these ones?
I would say I'm quite satisfied.
Yes.
He nods, goes over to the table, kind of gingerly flips the maps and folds them back together into the tome, secures them, and takes a couple of minutes placing them back on the shelf. Now that we've cleaned up our mess, if you'd please follow me over to the Marshy Rebellions. And the three of you begin stepping over to another section of the library. And as we step off of there, we're going to check in on the others. So, we're going to see how, at the very least, the two at the Gorgon's Gaze are. We'll let the others that were talking to the Mistress make their way back over to the Gaze to relay their news. But, and Yoy, you two have both been preparing yourselves in whatever way possible, mending wounds, preparing spirits. If there's anything you'd like to add on to the statement I'm giving to the two of you, now is the time to do so.
Yeah, I actually want to go find Yoy in whatever Yoy is doing. And I have a question for her.
Shit, alright.
Do you think you could make me something that could, like, hold a dagger to my arm and then, like, flip out in my hand?
Like a retractable weapon?
Yeah, something like that, but I want to be able to, like, if I wanted to throw a dagger, I want it to be able to, I want to still be able to throw it if needed.
So a spring-loaded weapon.
I suppose. I guess I'm more like, I want it to be concealed and then in my hand, but I want it to be able to be separated from the dagger.
Ah, I see. Okay, you don't want the dagger to be permanently attached, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like if it could have little hands that could, like, let go.
Okay. Yes. I think I could draw that up.
Is there anything
Give me a few days. And
you would
as
need?
far as the, go ahead.
Is there anything you might need to help with that?
Just whatever materials you're wanting your daggers to be made out of.
I almost feel like I have extras. Let me double check my inventory.
And I mean, I could probably do it with anything if you had like really sharp rocks or crystals or.
Where's my inventory? Oh, there it is. I have a dagger. Ah, fuck it. I'll just go buy some others. I'm just gonna hand Yoi my current, probably not very cool dagger that I just have about.
You're gonna very blank stare, just look at the dagger, look back at you, grab your hand, flip it over, and put the dagger back and say, I'll find something to use instead.
I'll just go buy another. I need a couple anyway, so I'll just go buy a couple more.
Do you want it to have flair, or do you want it to look like that?
I mean, probably better if it doesn't look too crazy. I'm not trying to like bring too much attention, too much more attention, I guess.
All right. So I suppose convincing you, maybe like onyx, or anything else?
I
It
suppose
is
onyx
it's your project. Sorry. I will do whatever you ask me to do for you.
I kind of just want it to be like, I don't want it to draw too much extra attention, but like, I suppose I trust you to make something good and cool.
Good and cool. Can do. Okay. Well, I will put you in charge of purchasing the weapons that you want for them. And if you want me to use your debt you already have, I can. But I think it would also maybe. I don't necessarily want to say something new or them to be the same. It's completely up to you, really.
I suppose I'm less concerned about the daggers and more concerned about how they might be held and sprung into my hand.
How about, and this is just me spitballing to you, how about we do something that is reminiscent of a fingerless leather glove, except it is only for the palm of your hand. So the top of it is nearly completely open except for the parts that go around your fingers. And so when the dagger shoots out of the wrist pocket of what I'm thinking on the underside, it hits the leather instead of the palm of your hand. So that way you do not get cut.
I suppose that's not bad if I can still hold the dagger from the handle.
You should still be able to. I suppose this would just be more of a precaution to make sure that you don't actually get hurt.
Yeah, no, that's probably a good idea.
Okay. In that case, I will start drawing up some blueprints. Is there anything else I can help you with? Is that a no? Is that a no? Wait, is that a no? Did just leave the room without saying anything, and then all of a sudden I'm just lost in the sauce of
mean,
okay.
I didn't mean to. That's my bad. I didn't mean to. What did I say? No, I don't need any help. I don't need anything more. But do you need anything? That's what I said.
No, not well. One more question. What color do you want your leather to be?
Probably something darker to match kind of the rest of what I got going
Ah,
on.
I do have a question. Sorry, off the top of my head. Your gift from the gods, the one that they keep joking about. Do you want me to make these adjustable?
That's probably a good idea.
Okay. In that case, I need to know the smallest circumference and the largest circumference of your wrist when you get a chance.
JC, where are we?
You're
Are
currently
we like in Yoi's?
in Yoi's
Are we
room
in one
of
of
the
our-
Gorgon's Gaze, yeah.
Well, I suppose there's really no better time as a player to figure out the upper and lower limits of shape change. So, I think I've seen. Do you think I've seen a loose gnome just about?
Oh yeah. I believe there was a gnome in one of the bars you were in.
Bucket, no time or no.
All
I
right.
think I can get away with that. Right?
Yeah, you can choose the max size you can be is medium and the min size you can be is small. So,
Yeah. For that, I'll let Roy take measurements, and then afterwards, I guess I'll turn into like shape change into like the biggest dragonborn I know of.
got you.
It'd be funnier if it's not the one I was as earlier.
I think what we've got is you change into a small gnomish individual, thin hands, basically the definition of someone who's built like a twig. And that is the kind of smaller size as Yoi is able to kind of measure those. And then you're able to almost like triple your wrist size as the you morph into a dragonborn that you haven't heard of or that you haven't seen in person before, but you have seen basically small or what some people say small renditions. You're a little, you don't think that they could be that large, but a over 7 foot white dragonborn with a basically massive shoulders, wide a wide stance, and as you're impersonating the individual, one of your eyes do in fact swell shut from a wound. And those are your two large ones. That's the largest person that you've heard or seen any description of.
Oh. Okay, I'm with that.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, 2 questions. First one, and this is out of character. Is that fucking Gilgamesh? Be honest with me right now.
Yeah. No, I don't need an answer from JC. Yes, that is Gilgamesh.
Question number 2. Was not at the table when we saw the Goliath? Is a Goliath not bigger than a Dragonborn? Am I stupid? Am I like dumb in the brain?
Gilgamesh was a absurdly large dragonborn. He is around
Yeah.
Goliath sized. Any
Okay,
Goliath
okay.
that would be dwarfing Gilgamesh would be large size, and as such, would not be able to replicate them. But
Okay.
Gilgamesh was a what should we call it? Genetic freak. being
Yeah.
being quite I do think quite literally at the not the exact but super close to the upper echelon of what is a medium creature.
Hey,
Okay.
do you think Gilgamesh would give me advantage on an intimidation?
That was a magical feature that Gilgamesh had. The person over in Usapait would have to know who Gilgamesh is for any advantage. Usapait's real good
I've
at
read
not
about
caring.
I've read about Gilgamesh.
Oh yeah. No,
Probably.
you're a studied person. You would honestly, you're basically the only person out of the group that has probably a possibility of knowing about the members of the charade. So
You guys let me name that shit so long ago, and I have to live with it until I fucking die.
you do. I just say it.
That's okay because I hated it from the start. I just had nothing else. I had nothing
Yeah.
better other than tell you no. And
If
all
you
you were
guys-
like, nah, it's fine.
If you guys make a group name, every single god must help you because that shit's gonna stick as well. But here you go, calling it the charade. So,
I
but-
hate it here.
yeah.
We can't even call it the parade.
Nope. The charade rolls off the tongue better, and so that's what caught on.
Okay. Where were we? What the fuck are we doing?
Alright, Yoi's measuring some wrists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. I was at Gilgamesh.
Yeah, you shrunk down to like a 4-foot nothing gnome, and then swelled to an over 7-foot dragonborn. Is what happened.
A somehow lanky gnome
Mm-hmm.
and
Just the
Gilgamesh.
twiggiest of twigs. Suzanne, I would like you to
Can
roll a luck
unlock
check to
dragon-
see if Ophelia and Aelin arrive to check on you guys while you're doing this measuring.
okay, this is a straight D20, right?
Just a d20.
11.
Can not turn I guess it's and just an assumption. Does not know about Nime then?
No,
Okay.
would have knowledge of them. They wouldn't have exacts, but
I would say that Nime's wrists are probably super fucking small, but then again, lanky gnome also.
Lanky
but
no.
that is okay.
Nime also has some
Fuck
muscle. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Nime is
Keep in
also not a
mind
small creature. Can
Nime-
change into a small creature.
Have Gordos like 20 times in a round. Has some fucking fun.
There might be some distinctions to make.
Nime was packing.
doing
and,
some-
like... I
It's
did not
true.
think that through.
It's true.
No, you.
No, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I
Okay.
am
Uh,
doing some research. I have to grab a book, but I am still listening. But I am doing research. It is for your thing, but keep saying what you were saying. I'm so sorry. I'll be.
Well, as you are measuring this kind of massive dragonborn form around the wrist to just kind of get any sort of ideas for this, the two of you do hear a set of footsteps kind of go in, kind of step into the hallway. Ophelia, Aelin, were you guys gonna go straight to talking to the others about your new potential employer? Or new employer, I guess? Or is there anything else that you guys were gonna do at the Gorgons?
If no one's in like this little half bar area, yeah, we're gonna go upstairs to talk to them.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else we wanted to do in town either. So
All right. Since Yoi's
Straight to
thing is closer, you guys hear these footsteps kind of walk over to Yoi's door, and then a rapping sound on the side of a door frame from Aelin.
I will knock on door
Mm-hmm.
to wait response.
Assuming
Knocking on my door?
Yeah. You're in the process of
yeah,
measuring
yeah.
the massive dragonborn that shifted into, as there's a knock on the door.
Can I just like reach across without moving and just open the door? Is my wingspan that crazy?
Sure, why not? As the door clicks and opens, and the two of you, Aelin and Ophelia, you can see a large, over 7 foot tall, white scaled dragonborn with a measuring tape around their arm, and Yoi standing next to them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait,
Can
Who's the-
I help
did you
you?
make a new? Well, I mean, your friend opened the door. I thought. Who? Did you make a new friend?
You're always gonna
I mean-
look at and shrug and
I mean,
say,
you
I
can't
guess
be
you
so
could say that.
surprised that it's me, right?
And here I thought you only were interested in heron or satyr men.
And that giant, I guess, that giant of a man, Creed, whatever.
I'd hardly
Nothing
call
wrong-
that a
nothing
man
wrong.
if you ask me.
Nothing wrong with tasting the nation. Yo, it's okay.
I'd prefer you don't call it that, but sure,
Would
well enough.
you?
I mean, if you want us to
For
leave,
your
we got
information-
other things to do.
We'll leave you to it. Why don't we go have a drink, yes?
Why don't we? And I'm gonna close the door. And we're gonna go have a drink. We'll let them finish their business.
The door shuts, cutting off
He's a rather
Yoi.
large one, isn't he?
That is,
Oh.
she has a strange interest in the largest of partners.
There really is a fine line between bravery and foolishness, wouldn't you say?
I think so, but hey, I mean, you know, she has the experience. Maybe I have to respect a woman for knowing what she likes.
I'd rather have the drink before we talk about this any further, honestly.
I'm inclined to agree. Perhaps we discuss, I guess, how we'll tell the party what our new partnership with the Mistress will bring, or at least maybe think of when our next mission will come.
I only hope as our little lambkin's proclivities don't force us to need a more divine approach to any complications she may have.
When's that drink coming again?
About now, I would like to think that Nime has finished up, and I have been able to make my way downstairs.
Nime.
Nime.
What
I'm-
the hell?
In this place?
Wait.
got me thinking about shit.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Roy
It's
has
my fault.
finished
I brought it up.
measuring me. We'll head down. And I will have turned. I want to have turned back into the tiefling. But when I
That's
walk
arguably funnier.
up behind Aelin, I'm gonna shape change just my right hand and my throat. I'm gonna put my big dragonborn hand on Aelin in my big Gilgamesh voice. Like, hey, Aelin.
Good
Oh,
God.
Hello, friend. I guess this is we introduce each other. Obviously, you already know who I am, but who? Wait a second. I'll turn in. Oh. You guys aren't doing anything weird. No, surely not.
Oh my god, am I here? Am I not here?
You can.
I can't even defend myself.
You can make your way down unless if just trying to run past you when you're packing up your stuff. Is this what you're doing?
I mean, define.
You know what? I'm gonna pack my
weird.
shit and then I'm gonna show up afterwards.
I don't think I need to define what I mean by weird. But I suppose if you need me to, getting down with business.
No, I was getting help with some gear.
Oh.
Is that how it always starts?
Yeah, I suppose I get some help with my gear at the bathhouse all the time, huh?
It has. I will say it has started that way in the past, but not this time. I actually needed help with gear.
Oh, very well. What were you getting done to it?
Of course. Always have to make.
Yeah.
I got censored by my own mind. Goodbye.
Hopefully it's it's something new. I don't think I could find around the shops necessarily. Once it's done, I will I'm sure you'll notice.
Oh, okay.
Or I'll show you.
A couple friendly surprises aren't bad. You should just have a way. I've yet to see her work to the fullest extent. I mean, outside of some of the clothing that we that I had her make for Ophelia, but I'm excited to see what she does for you.
Ophelia, you're welcome to return. You're welcome to come down if you want to.
I'm gonna shape change my throat and hand back to Tiefling.
Sounds good.
Yoi's going to book it, and she's in not panic mode, but she's in work mode. She's got a notebook in one hand, a pen, just fire rapidly on the notebook as she's speed walking to where everybody's sitting at.
Okay. As takes a seat at the bar and Yoi joins them, the four of you have convened.
Okay, so I'm thinking navy blue leather that goes to black, and then maybe some really, really fun strings of some kind. I'm just trying to figure that out. And do you think you're a gold or a silver type of person?
I might have to veto the strings. I don't want anything too loose that could get caught unexpectedly.
Completely fine. I'm just trying to figure out a good way for them to be adjustable. So, no strings.
Don't think
all
gold
right.
and silver might stand out a bit much?
All right, so no gold, no silver. How about what is that word that they do with the and she's in her brain she's trying to figure out basically and I am also trying to figure out the word for where you stain up metal to make it look darker.
Acid washing?
You know what I'm saying? Does anybody know what I'm fucking saying? Because I don't.
What do you mean stain up metal?
They'll scrape on swords and stuff and dip it in a vat of acid and it makes a design.
A
that is an option. You can also do
acid treated
electrolysis or electro whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just gonna have to
Etching.
find what's the darkest metal in
are we talking bluing? Are you saying
canonically
you want
D&D?
blue the armor?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like, I just want it to be, like, darker than the average, silver.
Yeah, blew it.
Alright. Blowing it. So,
I'm not sure why you're worried
That's
about
the
it
thing.
standing out. It really is just only for you two, isn't it? I thought the red and white would go rather well.
With
It's
some
going to
convincing,
be-
it can be for you too, Ophelia.
You going to what?
Wouldn't it be more fun to find out as a surprise?
Oh, that's between you two. Why would I want to know about that surprise? What happens in one's chambers is one's own chamber's business. And I want you guys to know the way you described it, you said leather and string and lots of different designs. So you effectively just went through, oh yeah, leather and lace in this rather coy woman's eyes.
Oh, come on. It's not nearly that, what's the word that they use down here?
Body.
Kinky?
All right. I'm pulling my ripcord.
All right.
Oh,
Hmm?
Also, before I forget, you are going to give me not necessarily creative freedom, but I do have a very, very, very spectacular extra feature that I'm going to give you if you give me permission. Please, please, please. It'll be worth it, I promise. It's nothing like you can see. If that
Sure, go for it.
Awesome. Okay. Jacob, I got a shopping list I need to fulfill. So
All
keep
right.
an eye on your DMs.
Not easy enough to do. Who knows? Depending on how everything goes, you might even be able to get stuff down here. But with all of that planning ready to go, we're going to jump quickly back up to the Grand Library. You guys have moved over to a section that seems to be a collection of extensive, large peace tomes. And what those are is they are these singular books that have these basically large connecting plates together. And as the individual sets down 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 total books, they latch together in a plate into one larger section that then you can open and peruse through. Each section's catalogs different aspects of the Marshy Rebellion. Glaerun, as you've been knowledgeable of the Marshy Rebellion just simply because of your scholarship or scholarly background that's been kind of pressed on you because of how you were raised, you do know the basics of the Marshy Rebellion, about how it was a 3-century-long war regarding the high elf region, the northern region of Usapait, and what would become the central region, originally known as the Marshy Lands before being converted, containing the larger population of wood elves. Generally, your knowledge of it is due to prodding after the pushback that had allowed the Dark Elves to carve out the southern region of Usapait in the first war between the factions. some poking and prodding whispers of rebellion coming from the newly victorious southern region prompted the Marshy people into action, which created a grueling guerrilla war between the northern and soon-to-be central region. That itself was only destroyed due to was only stopped due to a quick cutoff when Ashar took advantage of the declining power of Usapait as a whole and attempted to invade it themselves. At the end of the Marshy Rebellion, a treaty was struck between the northern and central regions, firmly and definitively cutting the continent up into 3 separate regions. And with the united front and actually one of the original records of the northern and central region working together for a shared purpose, managed to push the Ashheart invaders out of the northern region and secure Usapait as the republic that it is today.
Does it mention which clan from Usapait invaded?
It was a mixture.
Or not Usapait,
It was a mixture of clans from Usapait, but and with this one you have a large, like you have this book here, so you're able to. Nice.
Feel better after all that.
I can hear you.
That's all right. It gives us a pause among the war. And let me see. Because there is generally one group that is deemed as the main section that has caused trouble. Where I've got like 3 different documents that I'm going through for this library. This library is a little difficult. There it is. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Discord having problems. We just lost all the video.
You just lost all of it?
Oh, they're back on stream.
Oh boy. I thought that was a transformer blowing up outside, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't immediately see a thing happen. I just saw a massive flash of light outside my window.
It was me. Let me in. I'm a fairy.
Oh god. The Dawn... Let me see, yeah. The Dawn Guard is mostly seen as responsible for it, although they were assisted by other factions. Let me see, the Crimson Riders are actually the faction responsible for the second part of the title of the war, because they were, while not the engineers of the invasion, they were a critical part in the blitzing force that caused the northern region of Usapait to crumble and need to have this sort of discussion and the formation of the Republic to defend themselves. But the actual clan that claimed ownership over the invasion was the Dawn Guard.
Cool. Is there anything in here specific to Eleanor or during the Marshy Rebellion?
As you look over the Marshy Rebellion and basically the issue with the guerrilla war is that battle lines can't truly be drawn. However, if a battle line was to be drawn, Eleanor Oren was in fact a line of defense that had been made and supplied satellite outposts during the rebellion. As such, the Marshy Rebellion is actually when the wall over Alinar Orin began its construction in length due to protection and to fend off attacks, although any guerrilla attacks were attempting to breach the wall where they weren't numerous enough to actually do any large damage to structures that weren't the walls and were chased off before anything else had happened. There's theories that you guys are able to read in this collection of tomes that at some point the Marshy people would have had it turn